Welcome to 1960, Hong Kong, one of the fastest growing cities on the planet.
We function as a port city with inputs and outputs. It's as if we're under constant change, a test city for all the new innovations of the world. How can we hold on to our culture?
Where is the future investment in Hong Kong? Booming after World War II, Hong Kong is now an icon.
3週年送嘅5週年睇怕都有粒石啩。
冇人比我哋更了解你想收嘅禮物，一年比一年豐富，傳承最好嘅匯豐信用。
For Hong Kong to maintain its image, it needs to be powerful. Wealth is power. Power is an image, and an image is Norman Foster.
The challenges are always about change, and in that sense, it's the only constant.
We are going to travel through time. Please be careful when entering into the time machine. Fasten your seatbelts tightly, and please do not touch any of the equipment around you. Hold on tight. We are about to be airborne in time.
Space, the final frontier.
Now, more than ever, speculations of the future are at our threshold. Archigram, the conceptual architecture group, has proposed the idea of a plug-in city, where large-scale projects are prefabricated and dropped into urban landscapes, connecting with existing networks. Like a spaceship landing on the surface of the moon, it can touch down anywhere, plant itself into the landscape, and survive within its own internal environment. It is believed that the HSBC Bank, designed as the ideal autonomous plug-in city, was a well-intended approach to create a fluid building that could withstand the evolution of time, specifically designing for change. This is the building's ideal conception. Foster's building was designed as an isolated volume. Reflecting the idea of the plug-in city, mountain points attached to the landscape. A core is hollowed out of the building as a hub to connect to exterior networks. Prefabricated units define the programmed spaces in the building and its form. The systems and changeable structure create an envelope and shell of the building.
Foster began an image of a city that is a kit of parts. Everything really stands alone and has its own place.
Let's now fast forward to 1979. The building is designed as a prefabricated machine. Metabolic in design, its parts are industrialized and are dropped in and placed by cranes. The building is sectional, with its functions described directly with its form.
It was almost sterile. I remember wondering what was so different about these washrooms and these offices that were prefabricated from the others I'd been in other banks and offices. We still had cubicles, computers, desks, and windows around the edges. We just filled the space. It really didn't feel all that different, I guess.
The components all fit into the structure that was designed to allow more or less space as needed. The structure is all along the exterior of the building for the most flexibility, with hanging floors, walls, doors, and tension cables.
There's a rumor the building can be completely dismantled and moved. Who knows, maybe one day it'll be across the street, or just completely gone.
Magnify. Is it data?
It appears to be a probe of some kind, but there is no Starfleet record of this shape or design.
That's carrying enough armament to pulverize a planet.
Lieutenant?
The building works as a hub, plugged into the important external factors like subways, roads, pathways, and hydromatrices. It considers its surroundings in a very particular way, just plugging into their existing networks.
How strange it is to think about Feng Shui and the HSBC Bank. It really doesn't reflect its surrounding environment at all.
All the mechanical systems surround the edges of the building and work as an overlapping of networks. Each is built into the prefabricated units, then connected to the surrounding units, creating a seamless manufacturing of the space that can grow with time.
I mean, the space can hold 8,000 to 10,000 people a day. It's like a small city, and all the individualized control on every floor, it's like a town center itself.
Hold tight. We're now in the midpoint of construction, looking forward towards 1997.
Hong Kong residents are privately worried about the future.
Prime Minister, on Wednesday you signed an agreement with China promising to deliver over 5 million people into the hands of a communist dictatorship. Is this morally defensible?
I think you would have had great cause to complain had the government of Great Britain done nothing until 1997. And I believe that most of the people, indeed the overwhelming number of people in Hong Kong, think the same. You may be a solitary exception.
Houston, we've had a problem.
It's frightening, really. We were literally given away. It's demoralizing. I don't think we know how we can hold on to the identity we have right now as a culture.
Welcome to present day, an unexpected turn of events. An autonomous building is designed to hold up over time.
The plaza is the heart of the building. Really, all of its open spaces are. The underbelly that looks up into the atrium is always busy. People move through, but it compels people to loiter, sit, wait, and experience. It's a busy space, really. The weekdays we see the businessmen rush through. In the mornings it becomes a ground for protests. In the weekends it becomes its own kind of market, with Filipino maids having picnics on their days off. It's like ants swarming an anthill. This is a rare thing for Hong Kong, to have open space, to have something so available. It's really valuable to us.
Welcome to the future, 2047. Let's take the next step.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
It was the building that was built for change, but in fact it's actually static. The only space that has ever changed and that truly extended the urban intentions of Hong Kong were the spaces that were not designed at all and left to be completely consumed by the public. I don't think I've ever seen the face of the building change. In fact, it stayed the same. The structure, the appeal, the look. The only thing that has actually changed consistently are the people.
Norman Foster's Hong Kong Bank, designed as an autonomous plug-in city, was a well-intended approach to create a fluid building that could withstand the evolution of time.
But having a building that is just a shell is perhaps the most important thing for Hong Kong. It is in the open fields that we see the most change. No expectations, just space.
Here is the human. Here is the human. Here is the perfect human. We will see the perfect human functioning. We will see the perfect human functioning. How does such a number function? What kind of thing is it? We will look into that. We will investigate that. Now we will see how the perfect human looks and what it can do. This is how an ear looks. And here is a pair of knees. And here a foot.
And here is the reality.